Yes, as it is on Amirul's side, as he does have the, alongside the Pelipper and Golduck, does have the Buzzwole, Katana, Muk, and Tapu Koko.
And Andrew will be bringing his own team of Tapu Fini, Arcanine, Garchomp, Metagross, Vikavolt, and Porygon 2. Not as many threats on Andrew's side of the field that really jump out at you. Especially the choice of Metagross without Tapu Lele to boost its psychic attacks with the rain.
Yeah, instead opting for Tapu Fini.
Actually, Andrew's team actually may be harkening back to one of the older teams in the format, which was the Arcanine Fini Katana team built by Sam Joitzer, which used the Winner's Policy Metagross.
Yeah, except he doesn't have the Katana. Instead, of Vikavolt operates quite well under Trick Room, which is an option for him since he does have the Porygon 2.
Yeah, Amirul's options to deny Trick Room, not great.
I think it's very great in the form of Buzzwole.
Oh, well. Buzzwole against Metagross. I'm sure.
Not only that, the Fini is there to threaten with the Moonblast as well. But
yeah, so Amirul's strategy against Trick Room seems to be letting it go up, but then countering with his own slow attackers.
Yeah, he does have Mark. I don't know, Buzzwole, if he does have that Z move, can just one-shot the Porygon 2 if he decides to show his face. Amirul also does have the flexibility of leading with the Golduck Pelipper lead. Perhaps he should do that in game 1 if it's a more comfortable lead for him. There's nothing really that resists water on Andrew's side aside from the Fini.
Yes, especially if he does carry the adjustments that Double Duck has made recently, which is to carry Brine on Pelipper to finish off Porygon 2s after the initial Hydro Vortex.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out, the only thing that Andrew's side can take a Hydro Vortex and Brine is the Tapu Fini. Everything else will go down to the double target.
Yeah, so I mean there are a lot of diverse options. So for example, Andrew, like Vikavolt could be running a Life Orb, could be running Scarf, could be running Assault Vest, could be running a Pinch Berry.
Amirul's got to be careful because his Double Duck lead is pretty much the only thing that can shut down the Vikavolt. And Vikavolt kind of resists everything else on his team. The Katana, the Buzzwole, the Muk, even the Koko all don't enjoy fighting the Vikavolt. So if he leads with Double Duck and loses Double Duck, and Andrew brings in the Vikavolt late game, it could be a struggle for him to get over it.
And we will be going into game, so will Amirul lead with the Double Duck? I kind of feel he has.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anything threatening it on Andrew's side.
And I think it's more of a comfort pick that you pick when you're not sure what to do. And
especially in game 1.
Yeah, when you're fishing for information, when you know about how your other playstyle will play better.
But the two strongest options against Double Duck do hit the field for Andrew. It's going to be the Tapu Fini and the Porygon 2.
And we do see the Double Duck come out, so 3 Ducks on the field here. And the Hydro Vortex should go into the Porygon 2. Perhaps a Brine as well. Should pick up easy KO, but we'll leave Tapu Fini free to set up Carmine perhaps, or just get off damage onto the field.
Yes, Carmine is a very strong option, especially under the rain, which will boost Muddy Water, as well as Fini's ability to take hits from both Pelipper and Golduck.
Yeah, and the Misty Terrain stopping any Hurricane confusions as well. Just another bonus to having Tapu Fini on your team. You avoid all that sorts of shenanigans that could happen.
So really the play here is if Amirul decides opts to go for the double into Porygon 2, Andrew can make a decision to stack something else instead, but that something else has to at least survive the initial Hydro Vortex. But it doesn't have to because Brine into Fini at full health.
Yeah,
redundant.
It's resisted anyway. I mean, even despite the 50% boost from the rain, doesn't matter. But yeah, you're right. Andrew does have the option to sacrifice something else instead of his Porygon 2.
Room later.
Definitely.
Once the threat of Hydro Vortex is gone.
And we do see the rain here is only 5 turns, so no damn rock. And we do see Hydro Vortex.
Switches. So Hydro Vortex and Brine we expect to be coming out onto the Porygon 2. I don't really see the value of going into Fini, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Andrew's team, what else could he bring in to fight this threat? Metagross, perhaps? Vikavolt does threaten super effective damage if it can move first.
Porygon 2 gonna take the Hydro Vortex all the way down to 55 HP.
And Hurricane, no Brine coming out.
But that should be enough. This Porygon 2 not apparently as true, but hangs on. The lack of Brine hurting Amirul there. As Hurricane not enough to finish off Porygon 2, Moonblast comes out from Tapu Fini. That looks like a Specs Fini. And Trick Room will go up. And Amirul not quite having the counter to the Porygon 2.
Maybe he's not aware that Brine would have picked up the KO there, especially since he does get a boost when the target is below 50% HP.
Not to mention, Skull would have done it for him. A boosted Skull does more damage than Hurricane under the rain. So, not sure what Amirul was going for. In fact, we see here that Andrew not running the bulkiest of the Porygon 2s on the special side would actually have gone down to combination of Hydro Vortex and Skull. But Pelipper went for the one attack that wouldn't get the KO.
Yeah, wouldn't even get the confusion as well because of the Misty Terrain. And now staring at a Trick Room Tapu Fini, which looks to be a Choice Specs version, and Porygon 2 goes for the recover.
Yeah, now the threat of Hydro Vortex is gone. Porygon 2 actually might even survive a double target.
Nah, there won't be a double target.
Target, Moonblast will finish off the Golduck here. No Protect coming out from Amiru either.
Yeah, interesting choice. And Pelipper,
definitely not going for Tailwind, right?
no, goes for another Hurricane.
Into the Porygon 2 again. Not going to be doing much. As we see, the damage from Hurricane actually still wouldn't be enough to finish off.
And Buzzwole hits the field. I guess Buzzwole does like to operate under Trick Room, but the question of whether Tapu Fini is slower than Buzzwole?
Yeah, we actually don't know that for sure.
Yeah, but
since their base speeds are very similar, I believe it's 79
Tapu
against
Fini,
85.
I believe, can take a Poison Jab from the Buzzwole though. And Buzzwole cannot take a Moonblast from a Tapu Fini.
Yeah, not from a Specs Tapu Fini. So if it's not Specs and Buzzwole is Assault Vested, it could take a Moonblast.
Yeah, Porygon 2 could, ditch recovering itself and contribute to damage as well. So that's
just
a
switch
factor.
out away from the Buzzwole Z move. Oh, there's no Z move incoming.
Oh yeah, he used the Hydro Vortex. That's correct. So perhaps the Assault Vested Buzzwole?
Well, if he specs Moonblast, the Assault Vest doesn't matter. That's the thing about Assault Vest Buzzwole. Even with the Assault Vest, not the bulkiest of Pokemon.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm disappointed about Buzzwole. Even with the Assault Vest, doesn't really survive much threats. And Porygon
recover, trying to bait the superpower, which would mean that the Buzzwole leaves itself open to the.
And Buzzwole is faster, goes for Thunder Punch.
How much damage is it going to do?
Not enough.
Decent amount there actually, but weaker than Poison Jab. So he didn't go for Poison Jab there. Interesting decision. Does he not carry Poison Jab?
And goes down to a Moonblast.
So yeah, either that is Assault Vest Buzzwole and Specs Fini, or there is neither item and the Buzzwole just went down to a itemless Moonblast.
And Hurricane not enough to pick up the KO on the Fini as well. So Amuro, his mons are just being picked apart one by one as they switch in here.
As Coco comes in, not going to be able to spam Thunder freely since it is going to be the one moving last under Trick Room.
Tapu Fini is at a rather dangerous health, but at this point Andrew has not lost a single Pokemon yet.
Yeah, no leftovers for Fini. I think it's pretty clear that this is the Specs Tapu Fini.
I wouldn't be surprised though. Specs Fini the damage output is just good and does work well under Trick Room as well. So, and locking itself into Moonblast, I believe maybe if
safer play than risking the Muddy Water Misters.
Yeah, I mean,
since it is Ruin Brain boosted, but at the same time Golduck and Pelipper both resist water.
Yes, and I mean Buzzwole there is delicious weakness to Fairy, of course.
Yes, Andrew definitely calling the 4 that he thought Amiri would bring, and Fini once under Trick Room just shuts it down. Yeah, and
Fini retreats here. Andrew preserving it, bringing in a Chinese Garchomp.
Going to be tri-attack coming from the Porygon, breaking the sash? No, going into the Coco. Whoa. With the critical hit, takes the Coco.
Did he get a +1 special attack?
Yes, against Double Duck, you do get special attack.
Ooh, and we do see a Hurricane here, going into the Porygon 2 slot.
Not going to do 25%.
Could get a confusion here because of the terrain being switched to electric, but does not. Yeah. And now
Pelipper against the wall, even with the sash, here you don't really give it good odds to survive.
Yeah, I mean Ice Beam will kill the Garchomp, but at this point Andrew has mons to sacrifice.
Pelipper does not generally carry Ice Beam though.
We've only seen Hurricane from this Pelipper.
That's true.
So
and
typically
you really wonder why he didn't go for Skull on the first time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's much that further needs to be said for this game.
Wants to try, it does get a forfeit there. I'm really not wanting to review any more of his Pelipper set than it's necessary, which is a wise decision.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, I mean, even lack of Brine is fine, but Hurricane into the Porygon 2 was
and you didn't really Brine there. Andrew's Porygon 2 clearly not. I suppose at this point people have forgotten about the Calc to survive, the Double Duck Assault, which means the Porygon 2 might want to lean towards more to the physical spectrum. As we see that Andrew's Porygon 2 would have gone down to the score, but Amarillo went for the Hurricane. So does he not carry a water attack on the Pelipper at all? Which would be an interesting decision.
What? Protect, Tailwind, Hurricane. What else could you run? Ice Beam?
No, knockoff.
Well, that is true. Pelipper does have access. Yeah, does have access to those moves. But yeah, it's surprising, and Amuro has to deal with the threat of this Trick Room being set
I mean,
up.
the other obvious scenario would be that Amuro just got a bit complacent. He might be used to taking out Porygon 2s with a combination of Hurricane and Hydro Vortex. Since as pointed out, people have kind of forgotten how to play against Double Duck.
Even then though. He should adjust to this team. So, I mean, if he does have water move, he will be bringing that in again.
Then again, we also saw that Pelipper only used one move the entire game. Could he be choiced? That would be
interesting, yeah.
In which case, why didn't you use your water attack?
Yeah, and there isn't any way for Andrew to change the weather as well. I mean, if he expects the Arcanine to
clearly he got a bit complacent in game 1. Definitely thought that Hurricane would get the... I think he thought Hurricane would get the kill, and he decided that Hurricane was the better move to lock himself into if it is indeed choice. That's the other scenario I can see being the case. Specs Pelipper seems strange though. I don't know if that's really what's happening here.
And well, he does know the calculations now that his Pelipper will not be able to pick up the KO with Hurricane, so perhaps he wants to...
Maybe he could hope that it was a roll and try it again. That's
please.
dangerous though.
Yeah, I mean, Amirul does have options to operate under Trick Room. He does have the Mark, he does have the Buzzwole, which as we saw undersped the Tapu Fini.
Did not enjoy fighting. Oh, it's going to be Pikachu and Porygon to hitting the field.
Oh, no Tapu Fini.
Will it be double duck? It's going to be Coco Katana. Oh, yes. Andrew makes the adjustment to the Coco and Katana and shuts them down with the Vikavolt. Vikavolt can resist everything coming out from both of these Pokemon except the Dazzling Gleam.
I believe, Coco's Dazzling Gleam is spread as well, and it has very low base power, so it should be able to take the Dazzling Gleam pretty well.
Will take that with no problems. At this point, Vikavolt is only threatened by the Dazzling Gleam from Coco, and actually no, he resists everything from Katana. Yeah, he resists the entirety of Katana's moveset.
Sacred Sword resisted, Leaf Blade resisted.
Also resisted, yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, right.
Andrew just gambling on Amirul not bringing double duck after game 1 and winning that bet.
I guess you could skydrop the Vikavolt, but Vikavolt has Levitate, so you won't even take damage from that. So, well, we will be seeing the bug do a lot of damage. Something that I believe Alan would have wanted to see a very long time ago. And we do see a Leaf Blade into the Vikavolt here.
That's resisted, by the way.
That's still a decent amount of damage, and we do see the taunt going into Porygon 2.
So it's going to shut down the Trick Room at least, so that's why Amirul made the adjustment. He had the taunt to stop Trick Room.
Oh, and we do see the Bug Buzz
going to bring Katana straight to his Sash if it is carrying a Sash.
And it is not.
So Katana goes right down. Maybe explain the damage from the Leaf Blade. Perhaps it is a banded, maybe, Katana.
Yeah.
Though Rain Katanas, maybe even Scarf. Who knows?
Assault Vessel, who knows?
Well, it's down. Unless we have a...
Pelipper does hit the field. Does not want to be facing off with Vikavolt.
Though it does have a better... At least, no, I think Pelipper is going to have a better time than the Coco. At least Pelipper can hit the Vikavolt for neutral damage.
Yeah, with the Hurricane. But Porygon 2 now still at
Vikavolt actually
full
probably wants to switch out now that it's threatened by the Pelipper, which is going to outspeed it. And at this point, especially with the rain boost to water attacks, not ideal for Vikavolt to stay in. Either Hurricane or water attack could do a lot of damage.
Tapu Koko could be firing off thunders as well, since the rain is up, and that would do a lot of damage under this electric terrain. And
we saw a tri-attack previously on Porygon 2, so probably no Thunderbolt to at least potentially one-shot the Pelipper under terrain. So decisions for Andrew to make here, since Vikavolt probably should be switching or protecting. He's gonna go for and protect, so does Amirul punish it?
Thunder would be good from the Coco here, and Coco goes for the Dazzling Gleam.
Goes for the safe play for the Dazzling Gleam. Wanting to get damage on both bonds, but Porygon 2 going to take that very comfortably.
Oh, Life Orb from the Tapu Koko.
And Hurricane comes out from Pelipper into the Vikavolt. Does Porygon 2 go for tri-attack into... It's going to be the Pelipper. Does he get status? No status there. Interestingly enough, the other point to point out is that just like with the double dark lead, the Coco Katana lead also gives Porygon 2 a special attack boost.
Yeah, so even though Porygon 2 is taunted, can't set up Trick Room, still packing a lot of damage.
For that matter, Buzzwole will give it too, so I don't think Amirul had many options to deny the download boost on the Porygon 2.
Yeah, so he stopped the Trick Room, but Porygon 2 is still dealing a lot of damage. And
you can't really hit Porygon 2 hard enough.
Exactly.
And we see that the +1 tri-attack is just going to trade very favorably for Andrew.
Yeah,
I think he's going to change the terrain. So eliminating the chance of Hurricane confusion now.
Yeah, I keep saying the Coco should have
still
Thunder.
Goes for Dazzling Gleam.
You expect the Coco to have Thunder, especially in the rain team, and that would do so much damage here.
But he seems... I think the problem here is that Amirul is not confident in being able to kill the Vikavolt with the Hurricane, so he keeps going for the double target with the Dazzling Gleam damage. But all that's given him is now he has a knocked out Pelipper and is down to his last two.
And Porygon 2's
taunt has run out.
Yeah, so Coco does have to sacrifice another turn to stop a potential Trick Room. Oh, we do see the Golduck.
Golduck coming in under the rain though, so signs of life for Amirul. Now he has a Z move on deck.
Yeah, and Coco could easily take out the Tapu Fini with a Thunderbolt.
He could get 2 KOs here since Porygon 2 is in range of Hydro Vortex. And Fini is not going to survive a Thunderbolt with Life Orb.
He is down to his last 2 Puma, so he does have to pick up some KOs now in order to be able to move on to a round 3.
He cannot risk And the problem here for Andrew is that he can't really risk the trick room in case he gets taunted. But at the same time, if Amiru goes for the 2 attacks and he doesn't opt to go for Hydro Vortex onto Porygon 2, this could be a trick room setup opportunity which would seal the game.
Come on, it's just Amiru should just pick up the both KOs here. It's a very cut and dry play, I think.
It's going to be the switch for Andrew deciding to preserve his.
It's going to be the Garchomp.
For the Garchomp, hoping to catch the Thunderbolt.
Yep.
And it will be Hydro Vortex here, presumably into Porygon 2.
And I mean, at this range, should be able to pick up.
Yeah,
KO.
it will be a KO. So Hydro Vortex will come out for Golduck, saving the Z move for the mid-end game this time. And will be the Porygon 2 as its target, which should be the KO under the rain.
Does not pick up the KO.
1 HP. Thunderbolt into the Garchomp. He carries Thunderbolt and not Thunder. As Tri Attack with the boost, gonna go into Tapu Koko, though at least protected from status by the Misty Terrain.
I think Andrew honestly wanted the Porygon 2 to go down now because now his Garchomp is open for Ice Beam from the Golduck. If he can stall out the rain, however.
Yeah, if he can stall out the rain, then Golduck's gonna be stuck without its Swift Swing boost.
Yeah, Tapu Koko does have Dazzling Gleam, but it will not be able to pick up the KO on Garchomp alone.
No, I think Andrew takes that survival because he allows him to get damage onto Tapu Koko. Which means Tapu Koko is now on a very strict timer. I believe that's 2 attacks before Life Orb takes it out.
Oh, you are right. I've completely forgotten about the item on Tapu Koko.
Yeah, because last turn he Thunderbolted into a immunity, so he didn't take recoil.
Oh. Well,
Koko is now on a very strict timer, so it's gonna be up to Golduck to carry the rest of this game.
Golduck goes for the protect here.
Wow.
Dazzling Gleam to pick up both
trick room
kills.
opportunity. Yeah, Andrew, I would suspect he's going for the trick room here.
Nah, I think Amiru's going for the Dazzling Gleam to go for
Dazzling
both
will go
kills.
take out the Porygon 2. But again, one more turn of Life Orb recoil.
Yeah, not only that, we have to keep track of the rain turns as well. That's when Golduck's astounding speed will be cut in half.
And that's
it's
actually
only
enough.
1 turn.
1 turn of Life Orb recoil.
Well, so the game should be sealed. I don't think there's a way for Golduck to deal with Tapu Fini and the Vikavolt at the back.
Now, Tapu Fini is weakened and Vikavolt is weakened. So under rain, Golduck could still pick up KOs, but
It's only
he
single
can only
target.
single target. So if he has to go for Hydro Pump, and he has to go for Hydro Pump into both the Vikavolt and the Fini for the KOs. And leaving a Garchomp open
For Tectonic Rage?
For Tectonic Rage, yeah. Not the best idea in the world.
Yeah, so Andrew looks set to take this game 2 as well. And move on. 4-1.
Well, Double Duck damage rolls not quite spinning in Amiru's
The
favor.
nemesis of Double Duck, the third duck.
The third duck.
Twice he survived with almost a sliver of HP. And just gave Andrew the advantage that he was looking for.
Garchomp going to switch out though.
Predicting
And
the
that's
Ice
going to
Beam.
be an opportunity for Amiru if he went for Hydro Pump into Fini. No, he went for the Ice Beam. And the Moonblast from the Fini should be enough to get the KO. As Specs Moonblast comes out from Tapu Fini into Golduck. Gonna do 60 to 70%.
Oh, doesn't
more than
KO.
that. And gets a special attack drop to add insult to injury as the rain stops. Garchomp is now faster than the Golduck, barring a really funky Garchomp spread from Andrew. And that should be game.
Yeah.
And set.
As
for
point out,
Andrew.
Golduck doesn't have a spread option.
Goes for
Hydro Pump, does get
There's
it.
the Hydro Pump, but without the rain, it's going to be Vikavolt, which will go down to Hydro Pump. But Moonblast cannot miss. That Golduck is Z Crystal and not Bright Powder. So this Moonblast will finish off Golduck. And Andrew takes a very commanding, as it turns out, 2-0 win.
I think it was
over
a lot
Amiru.
closer than it should. It was a lot closer than it could have been. I mean, Porygon 2 did survive and did contribute to giving Andrew an advantage, which he was able to turn into wins. The Porygon surviving with contributing damage with the Tri Attack. Just so much. I mean, you have to look back and wonder, maybe Pelipper should have gone for a Water Attack in the first game instead of Hurricane. I don't know.
Like, the only explanation I can think of is that the Pelipper is in fact Choice Specs. So he wanted to lock himself into a more neutral move, but it cost him. He decided to play safe and it cost him.
Definitely, the Porygon surviving just did so much for Andrew. Yeah.
In fact, you kind of wonder whether Andrew had really a very solid game plan for Rain, but he was bailed out by the damage rolls as well as Amiru perhaps not picking the best move for the situation.
I think he would have been fine because even if the Pelipper was specs, Tapu Fini should be able to handle most of Amiru's team.
Yeah, because you blow your Hydro Vortex already.
Correct. And I mean, if you get rid of the Golduck, you lock yourself your Pelipper into the Hurricane, leaves options open for your Garchomp to come in, not afraid of the Ice Beam from the Pelipper.
Alright, so well played to both players. And we will go to interview with the winner of that set, Andrew Hoon, so stay tuned. Alright, we are back and I am joined now by the winner of your round 5 set, Andrew Hoon. So first of all, congratulations, Andrew.
Thanks.
So I'd like to know, especially going into game 1, did you have a very concrete plan to deal with rain?
Actually no, but
I think it really looked the case because I think we saw your Porygon 2 didn't really feel very comfortable taking the hits from both Golduck and Pelipper.
But my best option was just to put in Tapu Fini and Porygon 2 and hope for the best.
Yeah, I could see because even if you got a KO on Porygon 2, you would still be firing off the Moonblast into the Golduck. And
correct.
your Fini still resists both Golduck and the Pelipper.
Correct.
So
That's
you'll
why,
still be in a decent position. But then definitely you got bailed out by the survival. Though you
Yeah,
kind of wonder whether
very clutch.
Amirul maybe should have picked a water attack on turn 1 instead.
Yeah.
Were you worried about the Buzzwole at all, especially since you were playing Porygon 2? Or were you confident that your Fini could handle it?
Yes, actually, I've sort of experimented with Buzzwole before, and yeah, actually, I didn't feel it was a big threat.
Yeah, special bulk is absolutely atrocious, I think.
Yes,
you would
correct.
know.
Yeah.
So Moonblast will just take it out very easily.
Yeah, correct.
But he went for Thunder Punch instead of Poison Jab, which I thought was strange. Oh well.
Okay.
But again, I think game 1, especially after you survived that turn 1 and got trade room up, was kind of smooth sailing for you since your Fini wasn't really threatened by anything he had.
Yeah.
But game 2, I think you saw what was your thought process to adjust to the Vika vote?
Okay, because I realized that I couldn't depend on Porygon 2 surviving Hydro Vortex. So my other game plan, which for game 2 was to bring in Vika Vote and Porygon 2. So he has to target either. So regardless,
You're gonna
which
get a
one,
very big attack off.
yeah. So if he targets Porygon 2 and Porygon 2 goes down, I still can get a good attack. I still can kill
Golduck with
Golduck, either Golduck or Pelipper.
Yeah, so you definitely made the adjustment and it turned out even better for you. He let 2 things that couldn't touch Vika vote.
Yeah.
So what was going through your mind when you saw Katana and Coco against your Vika vote?
Yeah, actually, I originally felt threatened, but I know that Bug Buzz can one kill Katana, so I wasn't, after that, no worries.
Yeah, so definitely you actually adjusted because it turns out you adjusted based on game 1, how game 1 turned out.
Yeah.
But then he also adjusted, so it turned out even better for you. But definitely very well played there for Andrew. So congratulations. We have Porygon 2 pulling out in the clutch twice in
Very
game 1
clutch.
and game 2.
Yeah.
So congratulations and good luck in the final round. And we'll be back with round 6 of Swiss. So stay tuned.